In this video, we're going to look at the division law of indices or the second law of indices. Now let's try and discover the rule by watching this video. I'm going to write down some bases. So I'm going to go 2 to the power 4 and I'm going to divide that by 2 to the power 2. Now we understand that the base is 2. Remember, to apply any of these laws, the bases have to be the same. Alright, let's write them out in factor form first of all. 2 to the power 4 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Now I'm dividing by. The divide sign in maths looks like this, but of course we can write it as a fraction, means the same thing. Divide line is the same as the divide sign. And on the bottom I'm dividing it by 2 squared, which is 2 times 2. Now, I can cancel out some here because remember in maths when everything's multiplied together we can cancel. So that makes 1. That makes 1. I'm left with on the numerator 2 times 2, which written in index form is 2 squared. Alright, base is there. Is there a link between the powers 4, 2 and 2? Let's have a look. Let's do another one. Let's do 3 to the power 5 divided by 3 to the power 2 again. Alright, write it out in expanded factor form first. So 3 to the power 5, 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. And then I'm dividing by, so I'm going to use that divide line by 3 squared, which is 3 times 3. And then do some cancelling. So that makes 1 times 1. And then I'm left with times 3 times 3 times 3, which is just 3 to the power 3. Again, the bases had to be the same in order for me to apply the rule. But can we see a link in the powers 5 and 2, and then our answer simplified is 3. Okay, hopefully you've spotted it, that the division law of indices means we can subtract. So I'm just going to scroll up. Subtract 4 take 2 is 2, 5 take 2 is 3. So I'm now going to write that up in a purple box. Okay, so let's just look at this. So we've got the same base, A, and they're being divided. So when dividing these terms, we simply subtract the indices. So I've written M, take away N, and obviously the base is there. Let's do some examples then. So I'll start off basic. Let's do 5 to the power 4 divided by 5. Remember, 5 on its own is secretly to the power 1, but you won't see that in a question. It won't actually have a 1 next to it. And remember, to apply the rule, the base has to be the same. Yes, the bases are both 5, so I can now just subtract the indices. So 5 to the power 4 take away 1, which is 3. Similarly, it works for algebra. Let's do a to the 6 divided by a to the 4. Looking at this, same base. Yes, they've both got the base of a, so I'm simply subtracting the indices. So my answer is a to the power of 6 take away 4, which is 2. Do something a little bit more complicated now. Let's do 25v to the 6 divided by, and often the divide sign's written like that. Let's do 10v to the 4. Now I've got coefficients here, so always deal with the numbers first. I've got 25 over 10. Can I cancel that down? Yes, both of those numbers go into 5. So dividing both of those by 5 leaves me with 5 and 2. So I'm left with 5 over 2. And then let's have a look at the bases. The bases are both v, so I can therefore subtract 6, take away 4, leaves me with v to the power 2. My final example is going to mix up the two laws, the multiplication law and the division law. So 7t to the power 3 multiplied by 4t to the power 8, all divided by 12t to the power 4. Now I'm dealing with all bases of t, so I can apply the multiplication law here, and obviously I'll apply the division law. So that's crucial to applying the laws, is having the bases the same. Alright, let's look at the numerator first. 7 times 4 is 28, and t to the power 3 plus 8 gives me t to the power 11. And then I'm going to write the denominator 12t to the power 4. Now I'm going to apply the division law because I'm dealing with a divide. So let's deal with the coefficients first. We've got 28, we've got 12. Both of those numbers can be divided by 2, giving me 14 there and 6. Alright, can they go any further? Yes, they can. Both of those numbers can actually be divided again by 2. So I will do that. That will actually give me 7 on the top and 3 at the bottom. Alright, sometimes it's okay not to factorise straight away. Sometimes it does take us a little bit of time. Right, now let's look at the bases. They're both t's. I can apply the division law and just subtract the powers. So 11 take away 4 gives me t to the power 7.